Ahoy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BBC Spews Live. The only BBC Spews currently in production. It's the 16th of May. How's everyone doing? There's all sorts going on, but nobody cares. If anyone's interested, there's all sorts going on in the world. But there's only one fucking story. You knew that already, didn't you? You knew it. Well, we knew it. Based people that pay attention to what's going on in the world. You knew what the BBC Spews was going to have to be about today, didn't you? Because, yeah, there's all sorts going on, but there's only one thing they care about. I'll tell you what, it's actually staggered me how bad it's got now. It's almost like the people that run the world want everybody to murder each other. You really couldn't make it up. So I recently, Phil Hewitt became a granddaddy. That's good news. Congratulations. Good news that in a world awash with shit, it's nice to see someone's got some good news. There we go. Well done, Philip. Although, well done, you didn't do any fucking work, did you? Well done to the mother that put all the effort in. I mean, even the father did very little work, so I don't think the granddad deserves any credit. But yeah, anyway, how do from sunny Swansea? Swansea is not sunny. Granted, compared to Middlesbrough, which is under a cloud of perpetual smog, Swansea may indeed seem sunny by comparison, but it's not a sunny place, is it? I beat the Swansea. Anyway, so the news, yeah, before you start distracting me, you lot, the news. There's all sorts going on. Sweden confirmed they were going to join NATO. That's quite a big deal. Might be sleepwalking on us into oblivion. McDonald's is leaving Russia after fucking 30 years. I remember being a kid and seeing them queuing for a Big Mac on the telly and thinking, progress. Obviously, after 10 years of the illiberal left running the fucking world, seems like we're just going backwards again. So that's gone as well. Makes sense, doesn't it? The regressive left have been running the world for the last 10 years. And now we've gone back 30. And there you go. Expected, isn't it? The BBC, I mean, the shit that's on their homepage. There was another one, what defines cultural appropriation? I'll share that afterwards. That was top 4 stories on the BBC today. Buffalo shooting, cultural appropriation. It's all they care about. So I'll cover it out of morbid curiosity, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the matter because I've been astounded at the response to this shooting. Purely because anybody who's got the brains that the gods gave a goose will be well aware that, I mean, seriously, I remember reading a piece about 10 years ago. Maybe it was after the Pulse shooting in Orlando or Stephen Paddock or who knows. People, you and I, people who watch the Angry Bootneck, obviously sensible people. So you know what I'm talking about when I mentioned the Pulse nightclub shooting or Stephen Paddock. The average person is just plain fucking ignorant. Ignorant. Like the average, the normies who are fucking up the world because they make up the majority and they've got the IQ of a pork pie. If you were to say the words to them like Pulse nightclub or Stephen Paddock, they don't know what you're talking about. The real issue seems to be that, yeah, everybody's watching fucking Netflix and not actually reading anything of any import. So because of that, they're very, very easy to wind up and just push in a certain direction. And with regards to this Buffalo shooting, let me tell you, the last 3 days have been shocking. Like, I recently rejoined the gym because I was stubbornly refusing to after the mask mandates. But after just using my rowing machine, I've been doing like 10,000 meters a day. Sometimes I've been getting on it twice a day. I'm getting bored of just running around the field and rowing and doing bodyweight exercises. So I joined the gym last week. And I went 3 days, like every day for the last 3. And every single day, it's just been wall to wall. MSNBC, like seriously, I did 200 flights on the stepper, a machine that looks extremely camp, but when you get on it, it's the hardest thing ever. try and do 200 flights of stairs on one of those stepping machines where they're like, you know, where the stairs rotate around on like a belt without touching the handrails. And when you get off, it looks like you've been squirted with a riot hose by the French police. Obviously not the English ones, because they'll only beat you up if you're a white guy. But it's surprisingly difficult. It looks mega camp, and then you get off it and you're like, but anyway, so I was on the stepper for the whole fucking hour. It took me about 40 minutes, but you know, cool down, warm up. For the whole hour I was in the gym, it was buffalo shooting. And then this morning, went to the gym again, buffalo shooting. They won't stop talking about it. And this is well known. I mean, I could try and find the story now. But basically, I read a piece probably about a decade ago by this eminent psychologist who said, we know what causes mass shootings. And we know what causes more mass shootings. And what definitely causes mass shootings is putting the fucking picture of the shooter right there for all the world to see. Again, this isn't me now doing comical news reporting as I do. This is me telling you some facts that I remember reading about a decade past. So all these eminent psychologists have said, we know what causes it and we know how to minimize it. And you minimize it by not purposely winding people up, not reporting the news in a far left partisan way or a reactionary right-wing way, and definitely not telling you all about the shooter constantly, giving you his life story, putting his pictures up. Elliot Rodgers was another famous one, just constantly putting him up there, going, and the perfect gentleman, which in itself is quite hilarious. I'm a fucking perfect gentleman after we just filled 10 people full of holes. Not really. I mean, I don't claim to be the most polite and etiquette, the most knowledgeable man in the world when it comes to etiquette, but I'm pretty sure stabbing a woman in the eye 12 times and then shooting 4 of her roommates, I don't think that counts as a perfect gentleman. But the point is, we know what causes it and we keep doing it. And I was getting angry driving the car back from the gym this morning because it was unending on the telly in the gym for hours. It seems like all MSNBC, CNN were on. Obviously, because even the fucking gyms are partisan in California. Well, probably in all of America. Right? Planet Fitness is a big chain, and they only had CNN and MSNBC on the tellies in the gym. And literally for the last 3 days, constantly, it's just been that. Every time I've been in, it's just for the full hour. Race hate. All the headlines are mega racist. I actually took a picture of one on my phone. I can't remember what it says now because I was going to put it on my Twitter just to like, look at the state of this headline. It's like white supremacist killer. And I was like, it's dead weird, isn't it? Because when someone like, I don't know, I'll save the headline. Someone like, I don't know, this guy did it. What did we get? It got memory hauled by the fucking mainstream media. And it was a bigger issue. There was less killed, but more like seriously fucked up. I don't know what the final death toll was, actually. Maybe someone who's watching can tell me, but it was definitely high. And the life-changing injuries for dozens of young people and little kids. This fucking maniac purposely targeted. He was a full-blown militant black supremacist who purposely targeted women and children and old people at a Christmas at a parade. And it said, if you read the BBC version of events, it just says, oh yeah, this is bad. It tells you what happened. The headlines from some of the American ones were just like, SUV hits people. They didn't even mention the driver or the motives. And it says, the incident does not appear at this time to be an act of terrorism, and then memory hold it. So nobody cares. The suspect appeared to have been fleeing a knife fight when he ran into people at the parade. This is the BBC's version of events. So they've talked it down as aggressively as they can there. It's just, and what I'm trying to paint the picture is not just the fact that we know that publishing pictures and life stories of the shooter always demonstrably and provably causes more shootings to occur in the weeks following these big events. But the thing that made me so angry is that not only do we know that that's how to cause more shootings, but it's the way that they're framing this while simultaneously ignoring the incident, memory holding the incident, playing the incident down. Whenever somebody who's black does something like this, it's going to make both sides angry, right? Because for the last 3 fucking days, every time I've glanced up at that television, it's been really, really colourful headlines saying things like race hate, and then underneath it's going to be like white supremacists strike again. And all this is going to do is it's going to hugely speed up the number of these things occurring and the total race to the bottom that's going to occur as a result of it. Because seriously, I'm not fucking bad-tempered about it. I'm not raged about. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not thinking about race wars or fucking any of this. I'm looking at it from the pure science of we know how to prevent mass hysteria and more shootings occurring, and it's by avoiding pictures of the shooter everywhere and framing it in a partisan manner, either left-wing partisan, we must keep attacking the white people, or right-wing reactionary partisan, everything's a fucking conspiracy theory. And what you're getting is, as a result of these news stories, I'm getting angry driving back, because every time I've been in the gym, it's been hate whitey, hate whitey, hate whitey. And then I got in the car and I was listening to NPR. For those of you Sadwins will tell you, NPR is their version of public radio. And it's like the BBC. And it's exactly the same as you would expect in this day and age. It's hardcore left-wing indoctrination. And I was driving back and even I was getting angry, because when you're a white person and you constantly hear them demonizing you as a people, like the guy on NPR was genuinely fucking racist. He was like an Asian fella, like he was called like Mohammed someone, and he was their expert that wheeled out. And he was just saying, oh, the thing, white people just do this and white people do that. And the Republican Party, they feel threatened because their power is oppression. And when you're privileged more than anybody else, everything, normality feels like oppression. And white people do this and white people do that. And I was thinking, so you guys just want everybody to kill each other then, basically, don't you? Because if someone is normal and amused by the world, I'm black-pilled, like Hitchens. Peter Hitchens is my fucking go-to man, as you know. And I'm black-pilled like him. I think we are doomed, and you just have to find it funny. You just have to laugh at the race to the bottom. And even someone like me that doesn't get that pissed about it and I just laugh at it, was just getting slowly enraged, because it's like everyone can see what you're doing. When a black person, someone who happens to be black and is a crazy militant black supremacist, kills a shitload of innocent white women and kids, you don't talk about it. You purposely memory hole it, or you do what they've done in this story, this BBC story here, and talk it down and say the suspect was fleeing a knife fight. And then, because they know what's gone on, what they do is they present it as, oh, we don't know what's happened, and it definitely wasn't a hate crime, and he was probably just fleeing a knife fight. And then they wait a week until nobody's interested in the story anymore. And then on the fucking 18th page in a little corner, or in the BBC on a local news page, you have to go BBC, local world news, USA, local news, Wisconsin, find the state. Right in the bottom corner, it's, oh yeah, by the way, militant black supremacists. But nobody knows about it, nobody hears it, and it's not on the fucking news, it's not on the radio. And then conversely, when a dude who happens to be white kills a shitload of people because he's a full-blown fucking lunatic, then it's a full week saying, this is militant white supremacy, we have to do something about it. You've got to take all the rights off them. I was listening to this guy on NPR, and he was saying, oh, it's all the fault of Silicon Valley. These right-wing groups can say whatever they want. We need to ban them all. We need to get Facebook and Twitter and Google and YouTube, just ban them all. And we need to stop white people being allowed to post about this. And we need to stop the Republicans being allowed to talk about it. We need to censor, and we need to... So basically, if you're a normal white person, you're a person who doesn't see the world in black and white. But if you're driving along and you're listening to the radio like that, and it's literally just constant hate, it's going to make you more angry, isn't it? So the plan appears to be, make black people, every time there's a white shooter, make black people feel as if white people are targeting them, and they're murdering them on purpose, en masse. So all the black people get really, really angry. And then when a black shooter does it, minimize it and totally ignore it and pretend it's not happening. And that's going to make all the white people really angry. So I'm driving home and it's making me angry, thinking like, so this is on purpose then. If the shooter's black, you memory hole it and you pretend it didn't happen. And if the shooter's white, you demonize white people for a whole week and say, you're all getting targeted, you're all going to get murdered, the world's gone crazy. And it's like, you can't not get angry about it if you're a normal person, because it seems like they're doing it on purpose. So we know what causes shootings. We know the science behind it. We know how to prevent them. And we do the exact opposite of all the good advice we've been given. Easy, isn't it? So all these teams of psychologists get together and write to the New York Times and the Washington Post and the BBC and CNN and MSNBC and say, definitely don't show these guys photos, minimize the coverage, and just to fucking stop talking about them because they crave the limelight. And they all go, fuck that, experts. These, again, like I keep telling you, these are the people who, because everything is political. Everything is political. When it suits them, they'll follow the science. When it doesn't suit them, they'll go, fuck the science. When it doesn't suit them, they're as scientific as a fucking drunk nun, which typically extremely devout religious people aren't the most interested in how things work. This is why you get blokes who pray 5 a time and eat regularly at Alan's fucking snack bar, don't really care about things like physics and chemistry, because if there's anything in there that contradicts the fucking 2,000, well, not that old, 1,500-year-old desert fables, if there's anything in there that's against fucking the mad mental midget, the epileptic goat herder, they go, nah, not interested in that. So again, it's fucking lunacy. It's lunacy, isn't it? Like, why the fuck do these people think that it's going to make the world a better place? It's not, is it? Promoting hatred. The science is right there. We know what causes hatred, and it isn't. Well, basically, we're ignoring the science, right? So, like I said, these people are fucking maniacs. They ignore the science when it suits them. And when it doesn't suit them, then it's science, follow the science. When they were locking everybody in the houses for fucking 2 years, and when they said all the kids can't go to school, even though we knew it was going to fuck them all up, they were like, oh, the science says we have to do it. The science says we have to lock all the kids in their houses and not let them go to school anymore. Okay, the science. And then when a load of psychologists say, don't fucking train people to hate whitey and don't memory hole the news because it makes white people annoyed and resentful at the blatant open hypocrisy. Don't do that. Then it's like, oh yeah, that's fuck the science. Fuck the science. Science is for idiots. It's like, so they're just up and down is left and right to these people. And I don't understand why we tolerate it. I don't understand why anybody can't see it. Even if you're a normie and you're not particularly interested, you must have heard you must have at least heard of that there is literature out there that says you're not supposed to put them all over the news every single day for a week, because then you just get copycats doing the same thing. So I find it baffling. But again, I suppose we shouldn't be surprised, should we? Because the fact that you're dealing with people's lives and safety has never mattered to the powers that be, the woke. Because think about that. I've talked about before about representation. It's one thing when you're doing it in front of a camera or, representation for a bloke who works behind the desk. But when you're talking about safety, like firefighters, police officers, military, when you're talking about people's safety, and even now in London, I'm sure you guys have all read it or seen it somewhere. I was listening to talk radio. They were talking about how they're getting rid of the educational requirements for doctors and nurses, like because these diversity SARs who work for the NHS. That's the National Health Service, Sadwings. Keep up. He knows. He likes British politics, really. Because they can't get the diversity requirements, they've started getting rid of all the educational requirements. So it's like if you used to have like certain results to be a general practitioner, now they've said, well, there's not enough black general practitioners, so we'll just say we'll just let them in on half of the score. So that's what's mad, isn't it? It's like you can be a firefighter if you're a little short fat knacker who can't even carry a kid up a ladder. And you can be a copper if you're a little short disabled lesbian with a hair lip, and you can't chase burglars, and you can't tackle muggers, and you can't basically police the streets. So if safety isn't of interest to these people, what is? And again, like I said, I'm not an extremist person. I could definitely see the appeal and why you should try and reach across the aisle and try and encourage more people, so you could have better representation, but only in like office jobs or something. Like the BBC wants to say we should have a few more Pakistani blokes on camera to make the Pakistani British community feel better. Well, all right, do it. But when you start talking about physical safety, firefighter, coppers, medics, doctors and nurses, if they're willing to fucking bend over and take it up the shitbox on that respect, what do they care about? Certainly not your health and safety. So it absolutely baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. We basically do everything wrong now, don't we? Which is why I keep saying up is down, left is right. We basically do everything wrong now. We know how to stop people shooting each other, and we do the opposite. We might as well be giving fucking used hypodermic needles out at the AIDS banks. Like, they might as well. We're so good at doing everything wrong. They might as well start doing that. Like, set up these fucking clinics for the junkies and just tell them things like, make sure you share needles, lads. Make sure you share needles. Good for you, that. Just start doing it. All right, fatty, make sure you eat mayonnaise with a fucking spoon. Yeah, straight out the jar. What? Like this? Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's it. Tilt the jar back so you can get plenty in. Yeah. Shovel that mayonnaise in, fatty. We should just start doing it. Oh, you're diabetic? You know what's good for you? Tizer. 12 cans of Tizer for your breakfast, son. I feel like we should just go the whole hog. Everything that's bad for you, just fucking do it. Because the powers that be really are doing the exact opposite of everything that we know works. So why don't we just start doing it? Just pilots. What do you think we should train pilots to do? Reverse park a fucking Land Rover. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. All right, fly the fucking helicopter. Like, we just seem to be doing everything completely arse backwards. Everything. Mass shootings, do it backwards. Do what we know will cause more of them. Race war on the horizon. Let's antagonize the black people. And let's really make the white people feel attacked, vilified, hypocrisies glaring. Let's make them fucking angry as well. All right then, fuck it. Let's just fuck everything up. I mean, don't they even do that with everything else? Women, like, oh yeah, you know what you should do, ladies? Sexual assault's apparently on the rise. Well, I think you should prove those fucking patriarchs. You should show them what's what by wearing a fucking miniskirt and walking past a Bell End church with your tits out on Friday night prayers. Do that. That'll show those patriarchs who's boss. Isn't that more likely to result in me getting sexually assaulted? No. Just walk past the fucking Bell End church and show them what you're pissed with. That'll sort you out. That'll show that'll show those mean old patriarchs what's what. Just do everything the opposite. Iron Brew and Mars bars. What is that? The new doctor recommended breakfast for morbidly obese diabetics? Yeah, the Iron Brew and Mars bar diet. Fuck it, let's do it. Easy. Oh, your back's a bit sore. You know what you should do? Go to the gym. If your back's playing up, anyone who's having back trouble, go to the gym and then make sure you get a bar that's sort of like a bit rusty and like far too large for you. And then grab it with your arms and then make sure you take your fucking legs totally out of the equation. What you want to do is you want to sort of twist your back at a funny angle, grab the bar, and then jerk upwards in an aggressive snapping motion. Yeah, don't use your legs. Totally take your legs out of the equation. Bend your back over as far as you possibly can and then grip the bar at a funny angle, cock one arm and then just go, fuck it, and do as fast and as hard as you can, twist and snap. That's how you sort your back out. Yeah, do that. I should be a fucking... I should be a is it a chiropractor that does spines? Yeah, I'll sort you out. Yeah, if you get a bad burn while you're in the kitchen, I'll tell you what's good for them. Tea, not cold tea, hot tea. Yeah, if you get a slight burn on your hand, just upend the kettle on the cunt. That'll sort it out. I think I should start doing a series of videos. It's just Bootneck's bad advice. We could just do, because we're living in clown world, just do the exact opposite of everything that we know is good for us. And then maybe the world will start to make sense, because it's the only fucking way the world will make sense. So that's all bollocks. If you want to go through this story, knock yourself out. But it's It's madness. The world's gone crazy. We're doing the exact opposite of what we know works. And everybody's going to keep killing each other. So let's just ignore it and do some fucking good old BBC. This was 4th story down on the homepage today. What defines cultural appropriation? I haven't had the time to read it yet, so we'll do it together. It might give us a chuckle. Let's have a go, shall we? All right, because I don't want to talk about that anymore. We've all seen how mad the world's gone. Oh, you're arguing about the NHS, Blue Van Man. How is the NHS better than the American Health Service? Well, let me give you guys some fucking some true lived experience. They all love lived experience. So I'll tell you my lived experience of the American healthcare system. Right? It's annoying because when you're English, you expect everything to be free. But if you work for a living and you pay your health insurance, it's 10 times better. So basically, I'm now of the opinion after moving here and being aggressively pro NHS and militantly anti-American healthcare, I'm telling you, after fucking 8 years out here, that the American system's better. Maybe 10 years ago it wouldn't have been better, but the American system's better, and I'll explain why. Yes, Yakub, Americans pay for an ambulance, but essentially what happens out here is they mark the price up on everything because they bill the insurance company. So it is bollocks because an ambulance, you'll get a bill in the mail and it'll say $2,500 for an ambulance ride. And obviously, when you're English, you go, hang on, a fucking ambulance ride costs me the driver's wages, the paramedics' wages, petrol and insurance. An ambulance ride should cost you about $500, but it'll cost you $2,500. However, if you work for a living and you're not a fucking moron, you pay for your health insurance like we pay national insurance. And that cost is about the same. I got a bonus off Games Workshop when I was back in England last year for that year. And they took like 40% of my money off me. So essentially, it is the same thing. When you're in England, you are paying for the NHS. You're paying a massive sum. And the reason I'm now changed my mind is because the NHS isn't free. And if you really break down just how much it's costing us, it is staggering. In fact, let me have a look. UK budget 2022. I want to see how much to spend on the fucking how much to spend on the NHS, because it must be. It's definitely the single biggest thing we spend money on in the UK. It must be staggering. Let me just see. NHS costs 2022. What is it? Fuck me. Yeah. £142.8 billion. And it's never going to stop going up. There's the Google response. Look. The NHS budget and how it's changed from the King's Fund. So it's never going down, ever. So by far, we are all paying for the NHS. But the people benefiting from it are not the people paying for it. It's staggering. It just goes up and up. It's bankrupting us. It's slowly fucking bankrupting us. And this is why I agree with the American system now, after being vehemently against it for about the first 5 years I spent in this country. So it's just going up and up and up and up. 148 billion, 190 billion, 190 billion, 173 billion. It's just lunacy, right? But in England, when you're working class, fucking white working class scum, which is what the government think you are if you're white working class, you're paying for everything. You're paying for the nose for the NHS. It's the lion's share of your taxes. It's a massive lump of, it's basically most of your national insurance. You are paying for it. So yeah, me and my missus pay a few $100s a month for health insurance. But if I get a bill, the health insurance will cover 95% of it, and we'll have a co-pay. And your co-pay is normally like $25 or $50. So you get annoyed because when you go to like get a random, like I went to get medication for gout, right? After wise advice from the chat, because I went years without bothering getting meds. And it cost me, my initial consultation, it cost me like $25 was the co-pay, and the insurance company paid the rest. And then when I got my prescription, it's about $21. It's not a lot. and I get 90 pills or whatever it is that lasts me for 3 months. It's like, it's not a lot of money. So you go for a doctor's appointment, you pay like 30 bucks. You get a prescription, you pay 30 bucks. The NHS, you don't get fucking billed on the face of it, but you get billed on the back end. And like most things of that ilk, it's not good getting a good seeing to from the fucking back end, is it? The back end's no fun. So in the UK, you're paying for it just as much as I am, probably more, if you look at your tax returns. But you're not benefiting from it. Because this is the big crux of the argument. 10 years, I was all for the NHS 10 years ago. But after 10 years of rampant mass migration, what's the net gain to the UK every year? 300,000, 400,000 people that aren't paying for it. These people don't pay into the system. There's 1 million illegal immigrants using the NHS in the UK, maybe more. There's bored people using the NHS. My mate John, who was a paramedic in London, getting stitched up, telling me he'd go around and see some old white lady who's like, oh, I didn't want to make a first love. And he's like, how aren't you fucking dead? How aren't you dead? Why did you wait so long to call us? And then he goes to some random foreign family who can't speak English, and they're all round the bed, and the kid's there, and he's already got an x-ray mark on his foot. And he's like, why have you called me? Have you been to the hospital already? And he's like, yes, but we wanted second opinion. Oh, yeah, you wanted a second opinion, did you? And you've called a fucking paramedic around your house, you fucking twat. So the NHS, if you're paying in the NHS, you're getting the piss took out of you. Exactly right, Foxing Band. Even if you don't use it. Me, I paid my national insurance and income tax all the time I lived in England, from the age of 16 to fucking 35. And I don't think I ever used it. Ever. So who was I paying for that time? Well, I was paying for the Somalians and the Moroccans and the fucking illegal immigrants and the sick note wankers. And again, there's plenty of white people who were sick note wankers who probably on the fucking door. Mick Philpott. I paid to deliver every single one of Mick Philpott's fucking kids, didn't I? The little twat. He might breed like a wet gremlin, but unfortunately, they don't just spring off his fucking spinal column like Moglai. We pay to deliver them. So basically, the NHS is a farce. I was pro-NHS. If we were still living in the 1980s and the 1990s, I'd be massively pro-NHS. But at this point, it is not fit for purpose. You're getting charged for it anyway. And the only people majorly using it are doilies, scrubbers, fucking illegal immigrants, bored people that never pay a penny into the system. The government runs nothing well. So, yeah, I've totally turned around on it. Just from my lived experience. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, I've won this argument by default because according to the walk, if it's lived experience, then that wins. Game, set, and match. You can show me all the data and facts you like. Sorry, lived experience. Checkmate, fucking normal person. Checkmate. You lose, losers. I've got lived experience. Fucking. But joking aside, it's bollocks. The NHS is fucked. It's been fucked for years. Doesn't work. You pay for it. I'm pissed off I paid into it for what? 16, 26, 20 years. I paid into the NHS for 20 years and I never used it because I'm fit and healthy. Think about this. This is another one. So I'm totting up the arguments here. Here's another one. The reason it's better is because you take it for granted in England. You've got used to it. You feel as if you're not paying for it, even though you are paying for it. So the fatties and the doilies and the scrubbers and the chain smokers and the fucking pissheads, they don't even worry about the health because they're like, oh, Matty will pay for it. Oh, Matty will pay for it. Here, you feel a bit of an incentive to be healthier because you're like, oh, I don't want to spend any more money. Probably better. And they actually give you financial incentives, the health company. My insurance company emailed me and said, like, oh, we'll pay for you to do this gym membership. We'll pay for you to get this free electronic scale that tells you how much your tits are going to jiggle if you keep drinking them beers you like so much. There's a motivation to be healthy. Over there, people take it for granted. My dad hasn't been to the dentist for fucking 8 years because he knows if they all melt and he needs a new set of pearly whites, the NHS will do it for him. Out here, you're motivated to go twice a year because you're paying for it. And they go, we'll pay for 2 dental visits a year. So now I'll go twice a year. Look, at them shiny pearly whites. I can't be an Englishman with teeth like that. They don't look like fucking Cocoa Pops. I'm not an Englishman. I've got teeth like a fucking burnt fence. It's because you feel like you should go. So ever since I've moved to America, I go to the dentist twice a year, and they scrape the shit out of them and fucking tell me what I need. It's because it motivates you to take care of yourself, motivates you to stay fit. So I'm not saying the American system's not is brilliant. It isn't. They're both flawed as usual. But if you're a pragmatic bootneck, if you're a cynic and a pragmatist, you don't go with fictional, happy, sparkles and rainbows, fucking, joy. You go with what's feasible, what's workable. And of the two flawed systems, the American system is now better. If we were living in the 80s and we still had real border controls, I mean, these are the big three why I'm against the NHS in England. If it was the 1980s and we still had means-tested benefits and made it more difficult for people to exist, Mick Philpott, for fucking life, Lizzie Bardsley, on bastard benefits. Bonus points to, if you're as switched on as Bootneck and you know both Mick Philpott and Lizzie Bardsley are, well done you obviously pay attention. So one, we don't make people work. We make it too easy to get benefits and we make it too easy to scam the system. Two, we have rampant, uncontrolled, legal and illegal immigration, which isn't being properly vetted. So people who've never paid a penny into the system can come over and get a boob job. And this one, all my friends from Borough, if any of them are watching, they'll laugh at this because I was fucking ranting about this in the pub 10 years ago. Nadia from Big Brother. My mate Jonesy goes, you've got a chip on your shoulder about Nadia from Big Brother. Nadia from fucking Big Brother was a Romanian fucking bloke who came to England and a couple of years later gets cock off on NHS. And when Nadia's fucking flashing her threepenny bits and showing you her neatly snipped mouse's ear fanny, it's all paid for by you, Mr. Bricklayer, you, Mr. Plumber. Random Eastern Europeans moving to England to get cock off and canny set of threepenny bits is exactly what is fucking wrong with the NHS. So there's two fucking good reasons. And the third reason is you pay for it anyway. You pay for it anyway. So you might as well at least pay for it in America with your own money. And you feel better because you go, at least I'm just paying my insurance. I'm not paying for every Tom, Dick and Harry to get it. So yes, they're both flawed, but the American system works better. Definitely. And I don't have to queue. I went to the doctor, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, get a prescription. It took me no time at all. Walked in, clean, empty waiting room. Doc straight away. A nice, well-educated, sort of 35-year-old young lass who was really switched on, mega sound, American, spoke fucking fluent English, really, really fucking good, and no issues. And it's $30 for a 3-month prescription. So, yeah, the NHS is fucked. The NHS is not fit for purpose. Can't get an appointment, can't get an operation, costs you fucking 10 grand a year. You tell me, anybody else who's in the chat, there must be someone who's sticking up for the NHS. It's fucked. It's not. Why are you paying for it? I'm paying for my healthcare, but I can see a doctor and I can get a prescription and I can get an operation. You're paying for yours. Who's getting the operations? Mohammed. He's getting a fucking operation. Nadia's come to get cock off, but you can't get one. So fuck the NHS. Even I feel like I've made the argument and I can stop talking. But seriously, even if all the shit I'd said was wrong, I win on 1 point. If I need an operation next week, I'll be able to get one. If you do, you fucking won't. So who's won? Even if mine's more expensive or not the best operation ever, at least I can still get the fucking thing. The UK is a joke. The NHS is total shite. Doesn't work. So take the NHS, fold it up, and poke it up your fucking dirt box. It's of no use at all. No, see, two-tone, it can't look like a dropped lasagna if it's a mouse's ear. That's the point is, slutty woman, hippos yawn, virginal, nice lady, mouse's ear, right? Those two, that's mutually exclusive. You can't have a mouse's ear that looks like a dropped lasagna. That's supposed to be that's your go-to for, that's what a young single man should be seeking, a lady with a mouse's ear. So there you go. Right, oh, fuck's sake, I've gone on too long. I've got to finish up because my missus wants to go out. I didn't get to do this story. I'll tell you what. I'll save what defines cultural appropriation for tomorrow. I haven't read it. I'm sure it'll be a fucking barrel of laughs. I'm sure we'll all split our sides laughing at that shit. Yeah, a month out here. It's about $2.50, I think, $2, and then we both pitch in, and your employers usually chip in as well. But I think for a year it'll cost you less than your national insurance contributions, definitely. And more importantly, it's easy to get a doctor's appointment. And the surgery isn't full of 70 Somalians. 4 of them are outside roasting a fucking goat in the car park. Trust me, it's better. All right. So, yeah, tomorrow we'll do cultural appropriation because I'm sure it'll be fucking brilliant. Yeah, and there's no refund. No refund at all. If you turn up tomorrow in the back of a tomato wagon, you can use it. If you've paid in for 40 years, you get fuck all back. Kiss my ring, NHS. It's a cult. It took me 5-6 years living in America to escape the cult. And I'm going to try and encourage people to fucking do the same because it's fucked. Kate, I know you work for the NHS, but again, this is what I've said. If the NHS gets reformed to the point where it's more akin to the American system, you'll still work. You'll just work for a different company. In fact, you'll probably get fucking paid more. So the NHS is terribly run. And the nurses won't go away. Doctors won't go away. They'll just get fucking appreciated and paid properly. Anyway, all right, I'm going to fuck off. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about cultural appropriation tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Toodle fucking pip. Oh, shit, I didn't do the draw. Totally forgot about it. I'll do it tomorrow. Do the draw tomorrow. Don't forget. I'll do that first thing. You twats are supposed to remind me of these things. I'll do the draw first thing tomorrow. All right? Cheers. I've got to do one. See you later.